So another thing I was going to give you regarding that, back where Lake Merritt was trees. There was a reservoir right here, downtown Oakland. It was a reservoir going where Lake Merritt is. Okay, it was redwoods right there. It was a lot of trees over there. I kept on seeing why the Lord was guiding me like this, doo doo doo, like a horse. Okay, He said there was trees in this acres of lands over there, and it was. Okay, a lot of trees. Why do you call it Oakland? For a reason. These things are not just built on the status of the name. Okay, it was Babylon and it was Jerusalem. This California is Jerusalem. City based on a hill because it was heaven. That was heaven. San Francisco was heaven. Why did they call it Saint or San Francisco? Why is it always saints over there? Or why is it saint stuff? Okay, because Rome wanted you to think otherwise. Jesus was here. Fairfield was Bethlehem. And people don't know that. I was born in Bethlehem by the spiritual birth. These things are given to you guys to know what it is, okay? Washington, D.C. was mountains, a little mountain area, hill area. But yeah, he said you can build on that. Nothing wrong with that. It's like a stope area. Nothing wrong with building on that because it's a glider in. Flatlands, you don't want to do that. Flatlands are basically you drill too much in it and you don't even know what's at the bottom of, okay? That's why I said Vegas is Barbie Town. And it's built on sand. You see what I'm saying? It's built on sand. So what do you think is going to happen? If it wanted to, you could just under. You see what I'm saying? Oh, boy. That's why I was looking at Abraham movie. Why he said he couldn't be there. And there was a lake around that area. And he said I'm not giving you this land. This is the land you're supposed to possess, like take over. Not possess, like you're demonic possessed. Take over to harvest for your family, Your families. Remember, a lot of people went with Abraham. Billions went with Abraham. You think not? Yeah, look at the generation. Look at that. So, and when we think about these famines and everything else going on, China wants you to worry like a worry rat. And same thing with the wars and everything else. China does that. It's built on their government status. Same thing. It was built on Rome's, which is Japan, which is Afghanistan, and all this stuff. Now, I look back at Nicholas' time, Romanovs. They got very mad when they couldn't have the wives, okay? Syria was part of that stuff, okay? They got mad because they couldn't have Alexander and all this stuff. They couldn't have all these Romanov people, so they conspired with those, and then what did it happen? Like crazy stuff, okay? Alexander. Do you know that Alexander is brown-skinned and black, Do you know that Nicholas had pictures of his great-grandmother? Yeah, he put it in a gold plate and everything else, but he was actually down on the floor praying, He was honoring her at that timing. People don't know what he was doing, and he was not based on a kingdom. He gave it up. You see, he was digging in a field and stuff like that. And people want to say redhead. Look at here. Let me give you something. I have a picture of my sister when she was younger. My sister has red hair. She has a red hair girl, okay? Golden red hair. She has red hair, okay? My mother has red hair, okay? When she was younger, she had red golden hair. She didn't have the normal kind of hair people would think, okay? My dad, our root line, we have, you want to say rednecks? You want to say white neck? Look, every time somebody wants to say that stupid stuff, I'm like, get back, Satan, in the name of Jesus. You're blind, colorblind. So when I look at this one thing, my brother's having blue and green eyes. Beanie has blue eyes. Certain people in my family have green eyes. My brother has brown eyes. Certain people in my family have green eyes or things like that. Because my grandmother's bloodline is, it's Spanish, but it's Caucasian. It's a lot of Caucasian in it, okay? So, and it's, what was the other thing? Spanish Caucasian. And another thing is, and brown skinned. So when people looking at me like, okay, you know, all this stuff, I'm looking, my mom's Jewish, my mom's all this stuff, my mom's Caucasian, my mom's cousins, relatives are Caucasian, and brown skinned. My grandmother's Haiti and Ghana or French, Spanish, Mexican. Tony's Mexican, Russian by his father, and German. And Lord showed me that, okay? So I was like, wow, what is this, all this stuff? And then one of my family members had Ireland, and Carol has Irish in her, okay? And Australian is part of the bloodline of England's bloodline, and people don't know that, really. It's basically one bloodline. We all came from Africa. We didn't come out the butt. We came out the coochie. Okay. So when people start doing that stuff, you know, you find yourself going into darkness. I look at the people, they're going more into dark skin than they're coming out to light skin. Why is that? There's a deadness overruling over you. Black eyes, deadness. But some of them, Mexicans that have siren eyes, those sirens can come out. They hate the fire. Okay, they could be ripped out of man so easy than they can a woman. A woman has to go through it. But it's the suffering we have to take. Trust me. When we get rebel and do stupid stuff, we got to suffer that one, okay? Because we're under spirit and we're supposed to call them in back, not subdue them back to the gates of hell.